Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the updates 1.85 dev server, and I thought I would show you how flares and air-to-air missiles work on helicopters. We've already had a look at how it works in aircraft with stuff like the F-100D and also the British jet that we covered, but I thought why not have a look at another part of the game which a lot of you are interested in. So this is the AH-1Z. I have it fully upgraded for you, and as you can see it has some extra stuff to it. So first of all we have the flares and also the IRCM. So the IRCM is an infrared countermeasure. It's there to protect from infrared guidance systems. So this actually just helps straight away against stuff like the air-to-air missiles that could be coming in. Then you have the flare system, and then also the AIM-9s, which are the same air-to-air missiles that you find on the F-100D. Now, what we're going to be doing is having a look at each of these and basically show you how the targeting system works on here, show you how the flares work, and also the countermeasure as well. The countermeasure just seems to work in the most easiest way. Even though it's not installed right now, I can still run it with the aims, which is kind of interesting. So these are the three sets. You got one turret, then you got one turret with the flares, and then you got the one turret with the flares and also the sidewinders, and that's pretty much what I'm using. The IRCM, if we install that, all it does is go back to one turret, and I feel like what this does is reduce the heat signature of the AH-1G, so it is harder to hit, therefore it doesn't need the flares, or maybe it just gets rid of it entirely, making it completely void if you try and fire an air-to-air missile at it. So, let's have a look at how this works in a test flight for you guys. The main thing to understand is the secondary weapons have been increased once again for the Cobra and other similar vehicles which have access to these sidewinders, and that means that you can bring along your 16 TOW2 missiles and also sidewinders. So you can see they are put on top of the system, so you don't have to lose any tank killing capability to gain 2 sidewinder missiles and also the flares. The flares are, I believe, stationed a little bit differently from the rest of them. So overall, yeah, it's kind of nice to see that we have additions like this to pre-existing vehicles. I haven't found any aircraft which have flares yet or countermeasures, but the main countermeasure for an aircraft right now is the fact that it can just fly in a slightly different line and the air-to-air missile misses. So the first thing we're going to do is take off. You can see the different model here. If we go from the cockpit view, this is actually the gunner view. This is the cockpit view. You can see the sidewinder right there in some lovely setting. Now, let's just fire one of the flares. You see how beautiful that is? It comes out that little hole at the front there. There you go. And you can see it just going down. If I just do this, you can fire a bunch of them at once. You have 120 on the helicopters, meaning that you are really going to have to not pay attention to be able to get hit by the flares. Another thing to take into account, that is a MiG-15 over there. So what we do is we turn on our targeting system, and as you can see, the reticle is absolutely massive. Once it has targeted the enemy, you can see that it has targeted the enemy. You have to just keep it in this area. Then you hit fire on the missile, and hopefully that missile should be able to go after that MiG-19. But because I screwed it up, it actually just hit the ground. That's because I didn't have the targeting reticle all set up. So, let's try it again. Let's try and target this MiG-15. It might be a little bit further out than required. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit too far, so let's just turn it off for now. We can actually barrel in his direction, just so we can get closer to him quickly. And whoops, that's the wrong button. And then we can fire flares behind us, just in case if he is deciding to try and do anything. Look how beautiful the flares are. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Really nice animation. Remember, we are on high graphics as well. I'm sure on higher graphics it will look nicer. Right, let's set up the targeting reticle again. Very large targeting reticle, as I talked about before. Let's try and set up so it's near the middle. And now it is on, and now we've lined up both of the attack vectors, so the missile should get pretty close, but because the MiG is moving at a far superior speed, it is not going to hit. I haven't successfully hit an aircraft yet with an AAM from a helicopter. I have successfully been able to knock out aircraft with them from aircraft on aircraft violence, airplane on airplane violence, but when it's come to dealing with helicopters, I haven't had as much luck. But I still think the fact that they've added in countermeasures at the same time as adding in this new facet to the game is very, very important, and I'm glad they have. So we also, as I said, alongside the fact that you have 2 anti-air missiles, you can also still use the AGMs, or ATGMs I should say, sorry, and they are obviously the TOW-2 missiles, which are very good in ground forces. I don't know why that happened. What is going on with this targeting reticle right now? It's like jumping all over the place. But anyway, there we go. So that's that taken out. Where is that MiG gone? There you are, baby. Let's see if we can get a better shot on that MiG. Did we actually hit it? Where's it gone? Oh no, there it is. Right, so our AAMs are back. It flashes, showing that the target is inbound. Then it flashes more, meaning that it is locked on. And then I turn off the targeting reticle because I'm a nonce. Right, let's try again. So, targeting reticle on. Target locked. Fire. And let's see. See, it seems to follow it so far, and then it just stops. So, I think it's going to be quite hard for helicopters to hit these damn things. Right, let's turn again. Try and get on target as quick as possible so it doesn't go that far away. Right, that should be on target. Stop wobbling. Hit 4. Line them up. Oh, you didn't feel like it that time? Come on. Right, so there we go. Can it line up now? Can it find the heat signature? The answer is... Come on. The answer is no. I feel like we kind of have to line it up ourselves, otherwise it's not going to find it. So let's just line it up. It might be a bit too far away now. It is fully lined up. And the answer is no, it hasn't found it yet. We could just fire some flares away just to get them back. Because they are beautiful. I wonder if... Here's a question. So, if we go into hover... And if we just turn a little bit... Can we lock on to a ground target? Let's see. Turn off hover. Because technically they will have a heat signature, right? But it seems like no. It seems like we can only lock onto them if we are locking onto an aircraft. Let's get as close as we can. Nope, we can't do that. Fair enough. So yeah, the targeting system is very simple when it comes to the game. When it comes to helicopters, it's a little bit more technical in helicopters than it is compared to planes. But for me, it feels like if the aircraft is going perpendicular to you or parallel to you, or it just decides that it wants to slightly change course, then you're kind of boned because the the air-to-air missile does not track. So even though we have this extra facet to be able to kill jets, and it's really cool to use, it's a nice system and everything like that, and it's also stuck on my screen for some reason, the fact is, it doesn't seem that useful. And this is something I found in the planes as well. I found that for me, against AI vehicles, the air-to-air missiles, the automatic ones, were kind of interesting, but when against AI vehicles it worked really well, but against players, when I was facing a dog for life, it didn't work well at all. He was just able to trounce the AGM even if I wasn't telling him that it was coming. So I feel like this first iteration of air-to-air missiles is perfect for the game, because they're not too overpowered, they still work, but there are ways to counter them, which are not just, you know, flares, which are not just stuff that I've shown in this video, but also stuff such as a little bit of skill. So, let's try again. This guy's a little bit closer this time. Reticle is up. Should be finding him. There we go. Lock on, and 1, 2, 3. So this one should actually hit. Let's see how close it gets, because... oh. Well. It only goes about 2 kilometers. That's a shame. God damn it. Right, let's end on a high note. T-64B, you're going to hell. Oh dear. Right, fire again, come on. We've got to make this look good. Oh Jesus, never mind, everything's gone wrong. I feel like maybe these air-to-air missiles, maybe they don't go far enough on the helicopter, but at least I've shown you how the basic mechanic works, I've shown you how the flares work, and overall, it's nice to see a new step in aviation. Something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.